In the past couple of weeks, the weather has really taken a turn. Autumn has arrived in the UK, which means a lot of rain and wind, and swapping sandals for boots and thick socks. Thinking about it, I'm kind of missing the warm weather already, but in the past couple of weeks, we put on our winter duvet and have been decorating the apartment with pumpkins and lighting candles. It's getting dark so early these days. Usually by the time I'm back from my walks in the evenings, I'm having to use my phone to light the way, but it means I always get to catch the sunset, if I can see it, and the days are starting a little slower now. So we've just left the plot. I have recorded this once already, but realised I didn't have the record button on. Quick summary, we've just been to the plot. Chris has sorted out all the compost bays and turned them, so we've now got a fresh bay to put everything into. Everything that's at the plot has stopped growing now, so it's kind of time to just empty everything, put new compost on the beds, put new compost on the beds, and put cardboard on top of those to suppress some of the weeds. But we were just saying that now we know that we're looking at moving and getting a garden, and hopefully, I say hopefully, giving up the plot. It's quite sad, but also it's an exciting new chapter for us. The feeling of like looking towards next year for the plot, I don't really feel like that anymore, and I don't feel as excited about next year's growing season because of that, because I know it probably won't be there, or at least part of it won't be there if everything goes to plan. I was asked to be on the committee for the allotment society, and I'd turn them down basically because there's a lot of politics involved with all of it, but also I just felt like if I was going to be moving, then I didn't really want to be committing to something that I wasn't there to be a part of and also wasn't in the right kind of headspace for. It was a good day. We got a lot done. I've also picked loads of flowers which are still blooming, although possibly coming to the end now, I think, with the dahlias. And I also picked all the dried beans that were on the vines still. There's still a couple left to dry, but I'll go home with those and shell them and then put them in a couple of soups and stews over the winter and save them for growing in whichever garden I have, or whether that's the plot or our own, which is exciting. And I also picked some seed heads, kind of like dried, I think it's called a seed head, I don't know, of some mignon dahlias for Emily. She really liked them when she came, so hopefully they'll grow. I think I grew them from seed, not from tubers, so she should have some luck with those, which is nice to be able to pass on plants to friends and see them flourish in other people's gardens. visions of like whoever comes in just like ripping the whole kitchen out, and I don't know, you never know what someone's going to do.
We're not doing that. We're doing it because you can just leave it alone. He's nearly done. Kill for coffee.
It won't help.
Last week, our first test copy of Field Notes arrived. It was a really special moment to hold something that we created digitally in our hands. I visited Emily that evening so we could catch up and talk through any changes we wanted to make, and then at the weekend we made the finishing touches, submitted our order, and launched the books on Etsy. We were both so pleased with it. We've printed on A5 recycled paper to give the book a heavy, textured feel. I've really valued this creative process with a friend and the act of bringing a vision to life. As the days have been getting colder, I've been thinking about themes to cover in our next winter edition. It feels like a time to really invest in ourselves and our creative processes. In winter, we go inward and gain a level of introspection. We connect with the deepest parts of ourselves. I was in London for work recently, and I had a conversation with colleagues about how they realise it's winter when their cats go outside less and less. It seems funny to me that we should recognise this so easily in our companions, but not in ourselves. I wonder, when did we lose that? These are the months where probably we might recognise our bone-deep tiredness, our reluctance to spend our time working and having to socialise, and yet somehow we completely ignore it, only to find ourselves in spring when we should be renewed, and we don't at all, and then it repeats. No wonder we can feel down and a little lost by the close of winter. It's almost like that deep need for rest hasn't really been answered. As we head into the magic of autumn and winter, I really think we should all take a little time to consider how to best care for ourselves in these next few months. What changes are you going to make? What are you going to say no to? What seasonal lessons are you going to invite in? Let me know in the comments how you'll care for yourself this winter and autumn.
I'm at the castle just coming to walk Lola and hopefully find some chestnuts. It's absolutely chucking it down and we've been caught in quite a lot of the rain, and Lola is filthy and has jumped up all over my trousers and made them filthy, but oh, she keeps jumping up. But I think this is part of the experience. I've just come down into this little dip to hide under the trees because I didn't bring a waterproof. Is it going to get heavier? Hopefully not. And it's stunning down here. There's all these leaves that have fallen. There's these small dried husks which I thought were chestnuts, but they aren't. So I'm going to continue my hunt. I'm absolutely filthy. I need to go home and I think Lola needs a bath, but first I'm going to continue trying to find some of the chestnut trees that I know are on the grounds, and then hopefully my plan is to roast them and create a puree and to put them in some kind of cinnamon roll variation. So we'll see how that goes. But first I'm just hoping the rain eases up a bit. I don't think it's going to. So I've just come back from the castle and I feel like it was a bit more of a success than last time. Finally got loads of actual full chestnuts, and this is kind of what I needed to be looking for yesterday. I don't know why, I just thought that the brown spiky ones that had fallen would just be full of ripe chestnuts, but that's not really the case. And I guess these fuller ones have kind of swollen in size and then popped out of their shell. Or Puppy, what's wrong? Lola's just standing under the table whining at me. What is it? What is it? She chewed her ball to pieces when we were at the castle, so she's probably feeling a bit sorry for herself. But yeah, either they've gotten so big or the casing has rotten down enough for them to naturally fall out, which I suppose is what should happen naturally. It's been interesting, there's a few times where I've tried to do something like, I don't know, get seeds from old dahlia seed heads, or even with this where I'll start doing something and realise that it's particularly inefficient and then try again, and we keep working naturally as humans to find a better solution, and we learn the ways of nature, which might seem like a silly concept, but I don't know, I think there's something in there about forgetting ways that we can work with nature and forgetting the lessons that it's teaching us, and we relearn things very quickly. I think that's one of the things that makes humans so remarkable, and there's so many things going wrong in the world at the moment that, I don't know, it's becoming more and more evident to me that something's missing, and that all that we need to know and all that we need to learn to live, you know, happily and at peace with this world, it already exists, and we're not perhaps harnessing and looking to those things in nature to teach us, which is probably a bit too complex for just picking some chestnuts to make cinnamon rolls, but I don't know, it's been a reoccurring realization over the past couple of weeks as I've tried to do things and tried to make the most of nature and tried to harness it, and yeah, I think there's more in that than we realise. So anyway, I'm going to wash all of these chestnuts now because they're a little bit muddy, some of them, and then cut crosses into them to roast them. So I'm excited. It's an absolutely beautiful day. We've just spent the morning at the castle. Chris cycled there and met me there, so we were walking around for a little bit. The sun is shining and there's a chill in the air, and it just feels like kind of new beginnings in a way. I know that autumn is a time of endings, but it makes me really excited, and I think we're fresh, we're new. So anyway, enough talking, let's go and make some cinnamon rolls.